Okay, this is SOADIN, and I don't even know what do we call it in English. I don't know. But SOADIN, and really only the Russian nomenclature matters. But this is used as an airlock, and here are their 2 Orlan spacesuits that they would make a spacewalk with. Our Russian colleagues also keep a lot of their clothes and personal hygiene items in here as well. And we have a Progress resupply vehicle that docked earlier a couple weeks ago, and still has a lot of offloading to do. But you can see all the containers stacked inside there, and they slowly unpack those over the coming weeks and months, because it stays docked. This one particular will stay docked for several months. All right, so we go through the out of SOADIN back into the PKO. We'll do another 180 with the camera, and then into the FGB.
I think they call it DC1.
DC1 in English, yeah.
Yeah. Docking compartment.
Right. Actually, why don't you go that way, and I'll take it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Now, this to me is a little bit like going into a living museum, because this is the oldest piece, the oldest module of the space station. It's currently probably the oldest human object orbiting the Earth, because it was launched in 1999, celebrating 20 years this year, or actually having celebrated already 20 years. And if it flew by itself, it was launched as a single spacecraft, and it flew by itself for several months before being docked to Node 1. And again, this is just like the other modules that we saw, is an exact replica of the Mir space station modules. This one specifically is called the FGB in English, and it's basically a support module. Behind this panel, just like on the deck, there's a lot of storage. Some systems, not many, but definitely this is the main compartment for storage for our Russian colleagues. However, because it was built in Russia but paid for with a cooperation with NASA, I think that a lot of this, about half of its compartment have now NASA storage in it. The way I see it in my mind, every time I think about this, I see a ladder, because this is how I move into it, just going down this ladder this way. So somehow, even when I'm on Earth and I think about this, in my mind, it's always been a ladder going up. Drew, what are you showing them there?
I was just showing, these are mission patches from the Soyuz. So we have expedition patches for the ISS expeditions, but also have patches for each Soyuz crew. And these are some of the historic ones that have docked here in the past. Many people we know.
So this is obviously a very, very busy compartment in terms of storage, but crazy enough to, even though it sounds crazy, there is an order to this. And usually when we have to go grab something, we know behind which panel or at which height we have to go grab things. Now the only part of the space station of these modules, that doesn't have anything on the deck is right here, because this is where our Russian colleagues take their hygiene breaks. So there's a big mirror. Probably the biggest mirror on the space station is right here. Yeah. I never thought about that. And these containers that you see on the side, these are where our Russian colleagues have their personal hygiene items. And so what happens is that they come here, they close this hatch, partially close this hatch to get some privacy, and then they can shower, clean up in the morning, and we know when the hatch is closed that's what's happening. From here, we are going to go into one more docking module, which is called the MIM-ADIN, or MRM1, Mini Research Module number 1, and it's a little bigger in terms of length, but very tiny. And for me, it's a sweet memory, because it's where I docked my first time in 2013 with Expedition 36 on Soyuz TMA-M9. Oh, yeah. There is not a lot of space in space.
And I'll stay up here in the GA.
Yeah, I'm just gonna show. Right now, as you can see, this module is being used mostly for storage. There is some science going on the side. That's why it's called the mini research module. But because there is nothing docked currently on the docking compartment, which is at the very end of this module, they use it for storage. Because again, you have to think that every time something comes up, it has to go somewhere, and we have to have storage to last in case something doesn't dock. So we have to have redundancy. That's why there is so much stuff on the space station. So if this docking compartment had a Soyuz or a Progress right now, you would see that part completely emptied out and a spacecraft docked at the very end. This is the very first module that I flew in, so sweet memory back from 2013 again. And Drew, back to you. I'll take the camera and we can fly. You can guide me through the PMA.
Okay, well, we'll go here through the GA. The GA is what actually attaches the Russian segment to the US USOS, the US operating segment. So we're going to go now transition. We'll go through the PMA and we're going to pass a bunch of stowage, a bunch of NASA US stowage stowed all 360 degrees around us in the PMA.
Hey, Drew, because this is probably easy to get lost. Where is the Earth right now?
So the Earth right now would be straight through the camera, through your back, all the way down to down below you, behind you. So it doesn't come easily. You have to think kind of hard about what we're doing, which direction is up. It's very easy to get disoriented, especially I find in the Russian segment, because it's a lot more. There are a lot more confined spaces and a lot less orientation clues than there are in the way that our modules are built. So I'm going to back my way through here into PMA now, and we'll see stowage 360 degrees around us. This is where we keep a lot of we call them pantries and warehouses. A lot of our common use items like towels and wet wipes and dry wipes and nitrile gloves and things that we use a lot are located right in here, so it's easy to get to. When we run out of one thing, we have another backup right nearby. We can take another CTB. This is a good place to demonstrate something common like a hygiene towel. Here's a container full of hygiene towels, and this is where what we use to wash every day. Foil bag that has a towel impregnated with soap already, and we keep that right here so it's in a convenient location. These are all contained in bags called CTBs.
Cargo transfer bags.
Cargo transfer bags. All right, come on through, and this puts us into Node 1, another one of the old modules, or old original models of the ISS, and now has been converted now to where the primary place where we eat. This rack right here is the galley. It's one of our favorite racks in the whole ISS. It has our potable water dispenser, and maybe I should just demo fill in a bag real quick.
Totally, yeah.
So our food is stowed here, and we have food that we share, and there's food. We also have our individual containers of food, and I just grabbed this one. It's Tropical Punch. I would come over here to the water dispenser, the potable water dispenser. I would dial up, oh, I need 250 milliliters in this. I call this the safety. This allows you to dispense it so you don't accidentally dispense it into your face. I'll grab a straw. I guess I could have picked less than 250 so it wouldn't take so long to fill up.
But at least now you can drink it though. Otherwise it would have been too sweet or too syrupy.
Yeah. And then now we don't always play with our, well, yes we do. We do. We play a lot. But anyway, that's how we get a drink. We
Drew,
saw-
let's destroy one of the conspiracy theories about our table. One thing that I like to talk about is, why do we have a table in space?
Well, we still need a surface to work on things, but what we use is a system of Velcro, tape, and clips to hold our food in place. So here's a turkey tetrazzini that we had set aside to bring to Sasha because he really loves turkey tetrazzini. But once we reconstituted and ate this out of the bag, we would maybe put a clip on it and then use the Velcro here to stick it. Or we have this tape with the sticky side up, and it doesn't take much to make something stick to this, and it stays in place, and it just gives us a surface to stick things to. A couple other things to point out here, that we can keep food chilled in these Merlins that were actually designed for science, but they allow us to use them for our food and keep drinks cold. And then we have food warmers